I'm Sean from Offload, Rugby Media.
This is Simeon, also known as the TikTok Ref.
Hi guys, I'm Murray, also known as Blissful Rugby HQ.
And welcome to Season 2
of the Rugby
Connection
podcast.
Hope you're ready for it.
For the fans.
By the fans.
Welcome to the Rugby Connection podcast interview Thursday. This week's guest, he's been on fire since arriving in Galway, scored against the Bulls, scored against the Dragons in the URC. Mack Hansen. Mack, thank you for coming on the show. How are you getting on?
Thanks for having me, guys. No, I'm getting on well. Life in Galway is a little bit different back home, but I'm loving it so much. Loving it so much at the time being.
Good. And I mean, you took the URC and Northern Hemisphere rugby like a duck to water, scoring in the past 2 weeks against the Bulls and the Dragons, just unreal.
Yeah, man, I've been lucky to be on the wing when we're playing the type of footy we are. It's nice that we can get the ball wide and set up opportunities for me like that. So
yeah, absolutely. First question, we always ask this to our guests: what actually got you into rugby?
Mate, it was my best friend's dad back home. I was a soccer player before I played rugby, and he was president of the club, my junior club, Uni North Owls. And he just kind of said, "Do you want to give it a go?" And I thought, yeah, righto, I'll give it a chance. And I never looked back. As soon as I started playing footy, just dropped soccer straight away, and it took off.
Yeah, I mean, you made the right decision because we all know rugby is better than football anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, big time. Couldn't imagine playing soccer now at all.
Nah, definitely not. Sean, you got a question for Matt?
Mac, I'm just going to get straight in. I'm going to ask you so obviously you played 3 games so far for Connacht, but which style of rugby do you prefer? Do you prefer the rugby in kind of down south in the Super Rugby, or do you like the more kind of Northern Hemisphere, grinded up kind of style rugby?
It's probably a little bit early to tell. It's not too different, to be honest with you. I found like kicking games a pretty big deal over here, maybe compared to back home. It's a lot of just pretty much run it from everywhere, especially when you're versus New Zealand sides. The only kicks they tend to do are attacking kicks. So, that's been the biggest thing that I've had to work on is just defending and knowing the right kicks to do. So that's just been a good thing to add to my game. I think I was lucky enough at Brumbies to play alongside some very good players like Len Ikitau, who's killing it at the moment. Tom Banks, Tom Wright, all those type of guys. So all Wallabies, and they taught me a lot to come over here. And now it's good. It's a good little change up to the nice sun back home. The piss and rain week in, week out. I've actually been enjoying it, to be honest with you.
Okay, no, that's brilliant. Murray, I'll throw it back to you.
It's kind of on the same lines. I have written down what are the biggest differences between playing in Northern Hemisphere compared to playing in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, so kicking's definitely the main one. I've probably found here so far that there's probably a lot bigger bodies as well here. You got some, you got some big boys back home. Don't get me wrong, but I find that the rowers and the props tend to be barrel chested. I guess I'll say. I won't get into them too much, but they're definitely some big boys. There's been another thing that I've noticed.
Nice.
Yeah, we grow them big over here.
It must be in the meat. I think it's in the meat, boys.
Must be. Can't think of anything else.
Mac, I was going to ask you. So since you joined Connacht, is there a bit of a group or a bit of a clique between yourself, John Porch, and Ben O'Donnell, the 3 Aussies in the squad, or have you settled with all the Irish boys, or what's the story like there?
Yeah, no, I came to get away from Aussies, mate. So I don't talk to them at all. No, it's it is strange that I guess that we've all kind of come from the same place, just moving away from home and everything. So I think you're always going to click like that straight away. But yeah, no, I have just clicked with those 2 boys. Been very welcoming and pretty similar in like sense of humor and everything as well. So it was nice to come in to a place with a fair few Aussies. There's also a couple Aussies in the coaching staff and stuff. So it hasn't been too big of a transition in that sort of way. But to be fair, all the fellas are pretty bang on, pretty good blokes. So I can't really complain with the group I've been dealt with.
All right.
Yeah, that's great. It's good that there's like a little group of yous that all came from the same place. So it's easier to transition. Speaking of transitioning, how are you finding life in Galway compared to being in Canberra?
I just find the weather so bizarre here. It's just like I'll walk out in a t-shirt and shorts, and then the next day, the next minute it's pissing down rain for 2 seconds, and then it's sunny again, and then it's pissing down rain. It's just I can't really wrap my head around it at the moment. I've been there a little bit more time to adjust, but it's pretty similar where Canberra's fluctuates a bit in that it gets real cold and gets real hot. But yeah, the rain's definitely been something to get used to, but I think I'm pretty close to getting there. And then the town and everything it's been amazing. It's a really cool place. It actually reminds me of home a lot. So yeah, it's nice that everything's open as well. Compared to back home, everything's been closed, obviously with lockdown. So I think it was good to come over and just be able to bond with the boys, I guess, go for a few beers here and there, and kind of it made it a lot easier to get to know everyone in the team.
Yeah, that's good. I do like the fact that, again, like it's been easy to transition. It's similar to your home, just apart from the pissing down of rain, but you get used to that, trust me, it goes off quick.
I keep saying that every time it rains, I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. I thought it rained more than this though, and the boys have said, don't worry, just wait, it'll come. So I'm getting a little bit nervous for proper winter time, actually.
Mac, actually, just following up on, obviously you touched on how different the weather is, but this one might require a bit of thinking, but do you have any funny rugby stories?
Yeah, I'll have to think of some that I'm probably allowed to tell. I'm sure there's plenty of funny rugby stories getting around, but some you got to keep to yourself. I'm trying to think. I'm not too sure. Kind of, yeah, it has put me on the spot here a bit. Probably none that really stand out. There's obviously a lot of funny things that kind of happen on tour and on nights out. I guess like at Brumbies, we're all very, very close. So there was always stuff happening, and we're always around each other to putting each other in tough situations. So I don't think I might. We were in Argentina for playing the Jaguares, and it was Wednesday night, and I decided to go out with one of the other lads before the game. I wasn't playing, so it was all, me and the other guy weren't playing, and we've walked in this bar, and I'm getting paid absolutely no money for like my first year there, and I bump into Tavita Kuandrani, and I was like, "What are you doing now?" And he's like, "Oh, just having a couple." And I thought, "Oh, okay, fair enough." Like he's a bloke that can get away with that a bit. Next thing you know, just literally about 20 mojitos come down the table, and then the three of us ended up polishing those the next day, that night. And then he woke up the next day. I couldn't see. I had the biggest headache in the world, and like just was non-functional. And Tev acted like nothing had happened at all. Like he'd just been on the waters the whole night. So it was funny seeing like the two little white boys in the team, me and Angus Wagner, the other bloke, struggling, and then Tev just is an absolute machine on the piss. Like I just couldn't believe that he could do something like that and just act like nothing happened at all.
Was he meant to be playing on the weekend as well, or?
He killed it as well. Yeah, he's bizarre. I don't know how he does it. He ended up killing that game as well. So I guess some people play better hungover, but as I said, I don't even know if he gets hungover. He just is flicks a switch and he's back on.
That's brilliant.
I might have competition there because I don't get hangovers either. So There you go. We might have fun with that one.
Good luck drinking with Tev, mate. You'll have a hangover for sure. I'm telling you right now.
We'll get him on the show and we'll get that all organised as well. Then why not?
Oh man, he's tough to keep up with. Good luck to you.
Well, we'll see how that goes. We'll see. We'll definitely try drinking with you anyway. Maybe not go on the mojitos anyway.
No, I can't even look at him now.
just beer and just chat rugby. There you go.
That's it.
Sorted. You mentioned that you played for the Brumbies and in the Super Rugby. What are your initial thoughts of the new Super Rugby Pacific tournament starting next year?
I think it's really exciting. I think it's going to be great to have a bit of Fijian flair in there. I think that team and the Moana Pacifica team are just going to bring such different playing styles, I think, than we're used to. It's going to be really good to see them grow and obviously grow footy in Fiji and keep Pacific and Islanders interested in it, I guess. I think it's also going to be really good for the Australian teams that there's no kind of two comps where I thought that was the problem last year. We finished our Oz comp and then you pretty much have like your Mad Monday and everything, and then you got to back up for another comp the next week. So I think when everyone's focused and putting their best foot forward, it's gonna make for some really good rugby.
Yeah, 100% agree, and I like the fact that the Pacific Islanders, like you said, are getting their spot to shine. So everyone wins in that. There was a rumour that we read earlier on that former Brumbie Christian Leali'ifano was actually going to join Moana Pacifica. So that's a big move.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'll have to get on to Christian. Pretty good friends with him still. Still talk to him. So if he's kept that secret from me, I'll be pretty off him, to be honest. I thought he'd tell me. But no, that's going to be great for them. I think I could see him easily slotting in as their first captain. He's just such a fantastic leader on and off the field. And as I said, it's blokes like that you bring them back into Super Rugby. It's just gonna add more and more crowds and keep everyone really excited in footy.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Sean, you got any more questions for Mack?
Yeah, Mack, is there a city or rugby or stadium that you're most looking forward to playing, which you're obviously now you're playing in the Northern Hemisphere with Connacht later this season or potentially in later seasons?
I was honestly really stoked to just get a game at the sports ground. Me and my friends back home are pretty big punters, so the first thing when I signed, they were actually the ones that told me, they're like, it's around a dog track. Like they were so pumped for that. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. And obviously the crowd was just amazing, and it was just something so different that I'm used to playing around a dog track, and I'm used to just throwing money at them. So that was good. But other than that, I haven't really. I was actually pretty excited to play at Cardiff as well, just because I'd never played an AstroTurf. So other than that, I can't really think of it too many. I haven't had too much to do with rugby over here or seen any of the fantastic, great stadiums, I guess. So yeah, I think that I'll make my mind up more along the way.
Yeah, that's fair. How did you find the AstroTurf?
Couple grazes here and there, which I ended up having to put some Vaso on the legs just so I wasn't getting cut up as much. And I found that it was just real fast too. It just came off it just absolutely buggered, and legs were so sore. But it was a nice little change up, I guess. It was no potholes or anything, which you can find at a couple grounds, I'm sure. No rain damage as well. Like the sports grounds are already getting there a little bit, but the groundsmen are doing a fantastic job of keeping it at least playable. So yeah, it was definitely different, but it was enjoyable.
By the time Christmas comes around, you'll be well accustomed to the muck on the sports ground anyway.
Yeah, it'd be nice and muddy. It'd be perfect. It'd be good for the white headgear, actually.
Murray, back to you.
One particular game I'd like to go and see you play at is Edinburgh away, because I'm an Edinburgh fan, so that'd be good. And then see you tear it up and get a photo opportunity after that as well. And They've got a new stadium. I think it's a 4G pitch. It might be a hybrid actually. So you might have to test your waters on that one as well.
Yeah, hopefully I can make that trip. I've heard nothing but good things about Edinburgh as well. I've heard it's a very good town to see at night time. So it'll be great to hopefully get a win there, and then go experience for a couple of celebratory beers afterwards.
I agree with everything apart from the win. We've got a question from Simeon. He's the other co-host of this show. He sadly can't make it on that today. He's a referee. He asks a lot of guest referee questions. He's asked, what did you find the difference in refereeing in the Northern Hemisphere compared to Southern Hemisphere refereeing?
It's pretty tough. It's tough to think of because I guess wherever you play, the rules are always going to be the same. I found that it's actually been pretty free flowing here. I thought maybe that it could be just a little bit slower as it's more of a pack mentality over here. But no, it's been a lot more free flowing than I thought, and I guess everyone just wants to see footy be played. So it hasn't been too many different ones really.
That's fair. I think he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, hopefully. I can't bag him too much if he's a referee. They all talk. They all know each other.
Trust me, Matt. Yeah, you can. We do it all the time. It's all good.
Perfect.
Mac, this one is more of a hypothetical question. You could forget kind of salary, bonus, or contracts or whatever, but if you could play for any club in the world, be it for lifestyle reasons or if you want to play with certain players, which club would you like to play for?
Edinburgh.
Definitely not Edinburgh. No. No. I'm sure Edinburgh would be amazing. I think you're always kind of going to turn to probably the French teams for lifestyle and everything. It just looks unbelievable there. And I actually had my under-20s in France, and the crowds would just go berserk even for a scrum. Like they're absolute nutbags over there. So a team that I've always kind of kept an eye on and found really, really good to watch is racing or racing, however you say it. I think that, they've always signed some of my favourite players, and it's been great footy to watch. So, and then, that's probably top of the list. That'd be a pretty cool experience, I reckon.
Yeah, no, I couldn't disagree with that anyway. I'd agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm already getting pictures of Finn Russell cross kicking over to Mack and getting a beautiful try at Ladder France.
Oh, mate. That's ideal playing with Finn Russell as well. That bloke's an absolute magician. As you said, he I'm sure you wouldn't even need to call it. He'd just have eyes up and just absolutely put it on a dime for you wherever you are. So it'd be a pretty easy player to play with.
It would just be too good. It'd be too good. We need it to happen now.
Yeah. Yeah, racing if you're listening. No.
Sorry, we won't tell Connor.
Yeah.
What are your personal aims for the season, Mac?
Say again, sorry?
What are your personal aims for the season?
Honestly, just to play good enough footy and to keep in the team week to week and just contribute to wins. I guess it's a bit of a cliche, but I think that's the reason you play footy. You play to enjoy and you play to win. So as long as I'm doing those two things, I think the rest will kind of fall into place. So that's all I'm really focused on at the moment.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, based on the last 2 weeks, you're definitely clamping down that starting position. You scored that beautiful try that got basically everyone in Northern Hemisphere talking against the Bulls. How did that actually feel, scoring that for your first try as well for Connacht?
It was just a bit of a relief. It was I don't know. I could feel some bloke on my heels the whole time, or it felt like it. I was just waiting for some big South African to jump on my back, and it didn't happen, thankfully. So it was a pretty good feeling, especially I think we put on a pretty good show that night actually. So it just made it all a whole lot better.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I know Sean was buzzing about it that week when we recorded that episode. So you got a lot of praise within the show that week.
Thanks, man. I need all the talking up I can get, so it's perfect.
I mean, I'll be here to give it to you, Mac, if you ever need it. So
thanks, mate. Thanks. I'll hold you to that.
Yeah. Last question for me, anyway. Murray can get cracking with the rest of the questions. But what advice would you give to any aspiring rugby player? Let's say they're maybe 12 years, 15 years of age. What advice would you give to them?
There's something that my dad kind of instilled in me is just hard work does pay off. But at the end of the day, I find that, I think you can always enjoy yourself and do things on the weekend. Then, you can still live life, but the harder you work, the better you're going to be. It's pretty plain and simple. And I think that, once you keep working hard, everyone notices as well, and things just happen for you because you've put in the work, and just makes everything a whole lot easier if you put your head down and just go for it.
Well, that's brilliant advice. Murray, hand it back to you for the rest of the questions.
We've just got fan questions to go for now. So we've got Connor _Martin 23. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh geez, that's huge. 5 years. I don't know, mate. I actually don't know. That's a question I should maybe start thinking about a bit more. But 5 years, I don't know. I hope to just keep playing good footy, no matter where it is, if it's here or back home. Yes, this is my new home now. Being Irish qualified, I could see myself staying here for a while. So, I guess only time will really tell. Probably, hopefully, have a missus by then, so I can stop going out and stuff like that. That'd be perfect. Nice missus to ground you. Don't know footy wise. I have to kind of wait and see.
Yeah, that's fair. Because you said that you're Irish qualified, this kind of actually leads on to the next question that was asked. So Kyle _B007 asked, will you be playing for Ireland in the future? So,
mate, if I got selected, I think it'd be pretty hard to turn down. Once again, I haven't really put any thought into any of that stuff. At the moment, I feel like that's a bit in the way. All I got to focus on is just playing well for Connacht. But yeah, if an opportunity came up, then I think for sure I'd have to take it.
Yeah, that's fair. And just a little bonus question, just because you mentioned that you're Irish qualified, would you mind telling the viewers how you're Irish qualified?
Yeah, my mum's she was born here in Cork, in Ireland, so she's from Cork, Munster country. So I've got a bit of family over here that are showing some support until we play Munster next week, and then and then they'll won't speak to me that week. But so yeah, she was born over here, moved over back to Australia when she was, I think, 7 or so. My nana and granddad were Middleton and Castle Martyr, and yeah, that's how.
Fair enough, nice and simple. I like that. But fingers crossed. I mean, the way you've been turning it up so far, there's no reason why you shouldn't be within the conversation anyway.
Yeah, as I said, just I think everything kind of happens for a reason, and it's I think if I can just keep wanting to win for Connacht and play well, then things will start to happen.
Yeah, 100%. Last question from the fans. Sean, it's that boy again. He's loyal to Connacht. He was buzzing that we got Mack on the show. Rugby Kyle has asked, how did the move to Connacht come about at first, and could you give us more detail on the move?
Yeah, well, there's the back three at Brumbies are all Wallabies, and I kind of wasn't cementing a spot week in, week out. And I think any professional rugby player just wants to be playing footy, and I don't know if they're doing keeping an eye on me or what, but I got an offer for Connacht kind of out of the blue a little bit. my manager asked me, and I thought about it for about a day. And honestly, the next day I said, yeah, like I'm actually really keen to do that. I think it'd be a great experience, and it's a nice change from living back home, back in Oz. It's been a really good change for me personally as well. So, it didn't take too much convincing at all. I just thought, why not, and gave it a go. And yeah, next, I think within a week or two, pen to paper, and I was told the boys and that I was coming over here.
It's class. No, it's good that you were that eager as well, because usually you hear some moves that take forever and a day to get through, and then even longer for the player to come across. And yeah, but it's good to hear that you were actually like proper eager to get the move. And
yeah, I kind of just wanted to know what I was doing next. I didn't think I was going to stay at Brums, purely just on playing time and stuff. And I did just need a change away. I'd been at Brums since I'd been there for 5 years, and yeah, I just wanted to get my next move sorted, and then just go back to focusing on rugby. So I'd always wanted to play footy over here and kind of get a gauge on what it is and what it's like and everything. So I was very eager to get over.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, and you have picked a great club. Connacht has got a great history, and I don't even support Connacht, but I've always had a soft spot for them. So yeah, you have picked a great club.
Oh man, I can tell already. I was saying the other week the game was just gone. I think there was only 3,000 people there, and it honestly feels like there's at least 10. The crowd's amazing. So hopefully we can keep putting on a show for them and just build numbers each week. I couldn't imagine it at full capacity. I think it'd be absolutely deafening. So it'd be exciting. Actually, it'd be really exciting to play in front of a full crowd back at the sports ground.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I guarantee that I know that there was one man that was at the sports ground on Saturday against Dragons, and it's the man that's in the call with us. It's Sean.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sean was at the game against the Dragons at the weekend, so he was shouting and everything. So
yeah. I was buzzing when you got the score anyway, Mac. So
thanks, man. I keep the voices coming. It's good. It's great.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not the result that we wanted on Saturday. But in fairness, we started the season off brilliantly, and I mean, thanks a million for coming on the podcast today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's as you said, start of the season. It's obviously not probably the start we're looking for, but I think we showed, especially against a good Bulls team, that what we're capable of. So it's just kind of doing that week in, week out, and yeah, no, cheers. Thanks for having me. It was great to talk to you lads, and really enjoyed it.
You're more than welcome anytime. Honestly, just thank you. I mean, just how quick you were to reply to the messages and all that. Thought grab them while it's hot. Everyone that we speak to away from the show was buzzing about your try against the Bulls, and I'm like, just gonna try my luck and get out there while we can, while he's the talk of the town. And you replied, and you were really keen, and just can't thank you enough for coming on and speaking to us. Just for our fans, where would they be able to keep in touch, or follow your career personally, on the socials?
I'm not really big into Twitter or anything. I guess just my Instagram. I tend to use a bit, but I don't post. I post some pretty dust stuff, so I'm not a worthy follow. I don't reckon.
Nah, fair enough. I think you're a worthy. I think you're a worthy follower.
Cheers. Cheers. If you're into shit jokes, then yeah, give me a follow.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like I said, hopefully when it's Edinburgh versus Connacht, we could watch you play and get a photo opportunity, because it's kind of hard to get to know people and then not meet them for so many months and all that. So fingers crossed that happens.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It'd be great.
This has been Interview Thursday for the Rugby Connection podcast. We will see you next time.